Good evening, Dream Jammers. I'm coming to you right after summits. I'm filming this now because I want to do it while it's fresh in my mind, and I'm actually tearing up. This is like my third try to do this without crying, but apparently it's not going to happen tonight. We got the opportunity to listen to Valorie Burton, and Valorie Burton is a award-winning, best-selling author, speaker, and life coach, and she's dedicated her life to helping female entrepreneurs. That's us ladies, to helping women like us. And some of the things she said really speak to my heart, and I just wanted to share with you because I think some of you it might touch as well. She said if you grow personally, you will see your business grow. And this is so true. If we focus on expanding ourselves in our realm of business knowledge and marketing and coaching and leading and being a CEO, then our business is naturally going to flow after that. The first thing that she said, so this is, I have notes. So she talked about two different things, and they kind of went together. She said that successful women think different. That when you sit down and talk to women who've been through adversity and who have risen to the top, they look at the world a little bit different than the woman who's given up. And one thing she said was, there is power in a pause. So the power of the pause. And I love this. It's weighing every decision. And this actually is mirroring something else I'm learning from a different life coach. So I love that. It's reinforcing something that I've been personally exploring in my own life. This power of a pause. Does what I'm doing or what I'm saying or what I'm thinking, does that bring me closer to my goal or farther away from my goal? So from my other coach that I've been working with, she talks about intrinsic goals and key priority goals. Your key priority goal is that thing you desperately want, but it doesn't come naturally. Your intrinsic priority is a goal that you have, but it's in your wheelhouse. So for a lot of us, that might be we naturally want to spend a lot of time in our business, doing things for our business, living in the world of Jamberry. But our key priority is to spend more time with our family. So we have to weigh every decision we make of, how does this fit in with my goals, and how does this look against what I say really matters to me? And that's, where I've gone, okay, I need days. I can't mail 5 days a week because that takes me away from my key priority goal, which is to spend more time with Sophia while I have her at home. She's only little for so very long. When she's gone, I can mail every single day. But until then, I really do need to stop and pause and spend some time with her. So I've kind of started structuring my business a little different against that key priority. And I found so much freedom and so much more success in my business because I'm happy. I'm not bogged down in this world all the time. And my family's happy because they feel that I'm more present. But so she talked about, okay, so you take and weigh it against your goal. So in business terms, does this post take me closer to my goal or further away from my goal? Does this decision to not host a party take me closer or further away? And then to pause before we do something, to think. And take a deliberate pause each week and look back at our week before and go, what was I worrying about? Was I worrying about rejection? And when we worry about rejection, what does that do towards our goal? Like, does it line up with that? And then what are we actually afraid of? And what would it take for the following week for us to move one step forward? So we don't have to be amazing at everything right away, but we need to be taking small, motivated steps every day or every week. Because you know what? If we just keep moving, we are eventually going to reach that goal. If we stop, we are never going to reach that goal. So that really like hit home with me. And then she said, successful women think different. And she said there are 5 things that we need to do to fall into this category of thinking differently. And the first one is, I will not feel sorry for myself. And she actually said, stop throwing yourself a pity party. I went, a little rough, but she's right. When we sit, and I suffer from depression. I'm going to be flat out honest with you. And a lot of you don't know this about me, but here's me being totally transparent for you. I suffer with depression, and there are days that I don't want to get out of bed, and it is all I can do to even post in the team page. But I love you ladies, and I would never, ever, ever leave you hanging, no matter how bad I feel. I feel very obligated to, not obligated, honored. Sorry, there are police lights outside my window. I'm on the 3rd floor. I'm safe. But it's got me a little distracted. It's, you ladies keep me moving sometimes because I just can't disappear. And I know my kids should do that, but they just crawl in bed with me and love me where I am. And so if you struggle with depression and sometimes throw pity parties for yourself, I will be your accountability partner. Let's partner together and have the freedom to go, I'm having a bad day, like a bad week. Tell me to get out of bed and wash my hair. Like, and I have those here on this team. There's some beautiful women who I can go to, and they're sisters with me, and they go, it's time to go outside and get sunlight and do some exercise. I have sponsors in my upline that I go to, and so there's nothing wrong with that. But she said, stop the pity party, and I was like, oh, that's right, like right at me. She's looking right at me. And to let it go, like she said, let go of those friends that encourage that pity party. You know, you go, oh, I'm having bad sales this week, you know, and you got that girlfriend going, I told you direct sales don't work. I told you that was a pyramid scheme, which we've already gone over why we're not a pyramid scheme. But you don't need those people in your life telling you those things, is what she said. Let them go. They're not taking you closer to your goal. So if we're pausing and going, does this friendship benefit my life in a positive direction? The answer is no. And to surround yourself with people who do benefit you in a positive direction, who lift you up, that do not tear you down. And so, like I said, I am willing to partner with anyone who struggles and wants that person that they can go, hey, this is where I am. I'm Eeyore today. I think that's why I always loved Eeyore so much. The second one was, I will not stare at the closed door. You know, when you unrank, I've done it. I did it in the summer. It's a sad day. But you can't stare and go, well, I used to be a team manager, or I used to be this. If we stare at that closed door, we're missing all the opportunities that are standing right behind our back. So we need to turn around, tell that door goodbye, give it a nice big kiss, and then look for opportunities. Look for ways to move forward. Look for the next step. We can't wallow in what it used to be or what it should be. These are her words. Like, you can't go, well, you know, in the good days, in the good old days, we were like this. Or in the good old days, I was like this. You just have to look at yourself honestly and go, what was I supposed to learn from this process of having a bad party? What can I better out of this? If you don't, I always told my softball girls this. I never got mad if we lost, if the girls came out learning something. I got irate when they were like, they cheated. The better team didn't win tonight. Well, no. you know what, the better team didn't win tonight, but maybe they did because you guys wanted to pretend you were good. And, you know, like, I'm sorry, I'm getting all worked up. I haven't even coached in 3 years. But it would drive me nuts. Like, they just make every excuse as why they didn't win. Instead of going, you know what, we didn't win. Someone has to lose every single game. But what can we as a team learn from this game to take into the next game? So that's kind of what I took out of that is don't stare at that closed door. Figure out what you're supposed to learn from that door closing and then find the next open door. Number 3, and this one was huge to me. I will dig deep to unearth the courage, all the courage I need. She said, you know what? There are no people that are fearless. She said, everybody has a fear. But the people who appear fearless do something that most of us don't. They, from deep inside, pull up the courage to step out in faith, to step out in fear, to keep moving. So if someone says, oh, they're fearless. No, they're not. They just ignore that fear. And they tell that fear, you're not helping me get to my goal. Sit back. Fear causes us to freeze. She said, get out of your perfectionism. Sometimes we feel like we need to be perfect. And in that, we like freeze up and we just want, if we can't be perfect, we don't want to do it. And she's like, that is keeping you from an amazing journey of self-discovery, of learning to love yourself, faults and all. And so don't freeze up because you're afraid to not be perfect. Life is messy. Keep moving. And she said, just get up. Just get up. And I loved that. I loved that. That is the season I'm in personally. Number 4. This one falls in line with our mantras, ladies. You know how I talk about having a mantra. I actually posted it today, didn't I? My mantra was, I am a good mother, I am a good wife. Well, I like to say, I am a good wife, I am a good mother. I am a good Jamberry lady. And like, I need to say that. I need to remind myself that I am good enough right as I am. She said this. Number 4 is, I will direct my thoughts. My thoughts will not direct me. Powerful. That one is powerful. She said that we all know someone, and sometimes it's us, who are really good at, she used the term catastrophizing. I had to think of the actual word. You know how like, oh my gosh, I have a mole. Oh my gosh, that's skin cancer. Like that friend that just takes like a new freckle and makes it like cancer and or a cough, all of a sudden her child's got a life-threatening disease. And we do this. We get all worked up over something that's really just going on in our head. She said that when we find ourselves in these moments, we need to stop and go, is this thought that I'm having, this self-loathing, negative thought that is running through my head, is it helping me or is it hurting me? Is it helping me be stronger? Is it helping me have all that courage? Is it helping me to face my fears? Is it helping me to move forward? If it is, keep that thought. If it's not, it needs to be put away. It needs to be let go. It needs to go away. She said to do this, and this is something I'm going to actually do when I get home and have more time, but write down your most common self-loathing thoughts. That non-stop process that runs through your head. Someone rejects you for a party. What do you immediately say? You know, whatever it is, it's going to be different for all of us. But the ones that keep reoccurring, to write them all down and to go through and then write a counter thought. Write a way to take that thought away. So if it's, I don't know, I'm not thinking of one right now, but, you know, just come up with a mantra that's positive to replace it. So when that negative thought pops up in your head, say your mantra 3 times. You know, if I say, oh, I'm the worst wife because I didn't do the laundry and my husband has no clean underwear. He'd die if he knew I was saying that. But quite often, he's having to remind me that he needs underwear. I'll quite often go, I'm not cut out to be a wife. I'm not cut out to do housework. I need to remind myself that I am perfect in who I am, and God made me that way and made me Jeremy's wife, and I am enough because of that. Like, I just need to repeat that mantra 3 times in my head instead of the I really suck at this mantra that sometimes runs through there. So, you know, like, we all have our own personal ones, and our own identities will come into what that mantra is. And then, again, bringing back this stop, pause, take a breath, reflect on what's going on, acknowledge that it is a negative thought, acknowledge that hurt and that pain, and then tell it to go away. Take away the grip it has on you. And then number 5, I choose to believe that all things work for good. Everything does. I personally know this in my life. Even in our worst moments, some amazing things have come out of it. And our choices are, will I be better because of whatever we've gone through? Because no, not everything is positive in our life. But will I let it mold me to who I am, a better version, or will I become bitter? Right now, my husband and I are on a Netflix binge of Criminal Minds. And I have always loved profiling. I have always loved, if I wasn't going to be a graphic designer, I was going to be a profiler, like CSI profiler. Like, from the time I was like 14. I chose graphic design. It's a little less morbid, I guess. But there's a character on Criminal Minds, Derek Morgan. And he's this tough macho, and he wears his heart on his sleeve, and he's passionate for the victims. He's passionate for people. And you just look at him and you just think, oh man, he's had to have a wonderful child. You know, like, he's just so passionate. And we started at season 1, so we are watching straight through season 10. We'll be doing it for a while. But in the last episode that I watched, we find out why Derek was so passionate about the victims and why he became a profiler. And in the show, he was abused sexually by his mentor. But he never said a word. And in it, he has to confront his mentor who's doing it to someone else. And he says, and the man's like, I made you. I got you your football scholarship. I did. You know, just taking all this credit for who Derek Morgan is. And he looks at him and he goes, you know what? Yeah, you did make me. But not what you think. You made me a profiler. You made me want to be there for other victims so that they never have to be hurt. You made me want to put people like you away. He could have been bitter. He could have been just a drunk, a druggie, a mean person because of what he went through. And he had every right to be that way. But he chose to be better. He chose to to continue to make it a positive thing and to turn it around and help other people. So that's just, I like to make analogies, and that's where I am. Sorry. And, but I just was so moved by her. I know this is a long video, but I just had to share. I had to share I'm going to be perusing her website. You can just look her up. Valorie, Valorie Burton, Burton. I think she's a great arsenal to have in our tool of trainings. All right, ladies? Good night.